Well, I'm glad you had a respawn left.
Yes, thank you.
Look, it's game humor.
Oh!
Topicality.
A quarter on the machine. Let's talk Halo ODST.
Odds.
Let's get into the old odds. The ODSTD. Okay, they haven't played it yet, obviously.
It's very Pavlovian.
No,
Halo.
no. Well, that's the thing, and that's the thing, which we're going to get into, because some people really, really enjoy this game. Other people are angry at Microsoft about this game.
Guess which one you might be.
No, look, I have not played it enough to render any sort of judgment, but I have been listening to feedback online, so I will play devil's advocate, because you enjoyed the game. X-Play liked it, right?
Yeah. And Mr. Shark reviewed it, loved it, 5 out of 5. Yes, 5 out of 5.
Okay, all right, which we'll get into, but let's talk about ODST, and some people are complaining the campaign is too short. They're saying that this isn't a full game here.
It's curious because, actually, and Shark addresses this in his review, it allows you to play it in different ways. You can avoid battles, and in some cases, it might be in your best interest because you are a much weaker player than Master Chief in the game.
That sounds fun.
Yes, and as you go through it, you can do a 5-hour run, or if you really want to find everything, if you want to engage in battle, find the strategies that are more indicative of playing an ODST rather than Master Chief. He really found also a 10-hour playthrough. So it's really a matter of approaching it than the idea that they really just kind of really skimped on anything inside of the game.
But I did hear that, hey, 4-player co-op sounds great on paper, but when you actually implement it into the game, it's almost as if you can breeze through every level. It's not as if they
You do
really
need to be
designed it.
on the harder difficulty settings. Yeah, that's definitely true. Actually, I prefer the single player on it because the way it's structured, where it's supposed to be everyone's been, these different players, especially the rookie who kind of ties all of the story together. There's a real sense of loneliness, and obviously it's fun to have 4-player co-op, it's fun to play it that way, but the overall tone of the game is kind of undermined when you bring other people into it.
I'm all alone with my 3 buddies beside me, shooting through corners.
There's this lonely, cool jazz score that just doesn't make sense, and everyone's like bumping into each other.
Yeah, teabagging each other. It's like, no, this is dramatic, stop it. But, I mean, it comes with a disc that has the Halo 3 map packs as well, and of course you get into the Halo Reach beta, right?
Yes,
so, I mean, some people are saying that that's Microsoft's way of almost apologizing, like saying, look, we know this isn't a full game. This is maybe like a $30 download, and we know this, but look at all these extras over here.
I think there's reason to believe that this game may have started out with smaller ambitions, and they added more to it. I just love how, Microsoft puts all these things into the game, and yet it has to still be treated with suspicion. Like, one day they will bring you a package to your home and hugs and kisses. It's like, yeah, they probably have typhoid, and that's why they did it.
Right. I don't want this basket of puppies.
But Firefight's in it, too. And Firefight really is kind of
Firefight is cool. For those who don't know, it's sort of like a horde mode.
It is much harder than horde mode. It's a lot of fun. I found it even more intense. And there's no cap, and so you can have a 2 to 8 hour match if you're completely crazy.
Right.
But yeah, it really is thrilling, and that will obviously be the longevity of the game.
But I have to ask, again, X-Play gave it a 5 out of 5, which, and I, again, have not played it enough to render judgment. But what little I played of it, I immediately went, you know what? If this didn't say Halo on the box, I'd pawn this off as just another FPS and be done with it.
See, I thought the other way, and I just did a soapbox about it, that a lot of the hate for the game is because it has Halo on it. I mean, we kind of, as a culture, once something's big and many people, then you can't be Mr. Exclusive, who's like, this is my special Susie and the Banshees album, and now,
but don't you think it's because,
those kids are listening
but isn't it because you put Halo on the box, and so that sets your level of expectation because Halo is such a masterpiece.
Right. And I do
if
think
I'm expecting a certain level of gameplay and I'm not getting that.
No, the gameplay's there. The thing is, it doesn't have that epic thrust that you get. I love using that phrase.
That's my sex power move.
That you get in the other Halo games. It is a smaller story, and I think there's a lot of game there, but it doesn't have that sense that you've started at point A and traveled all the way to point Z.
Right.
You're traveling from point A to point G in the story, and I think that's kind of confusing some people as to what's in the package.
Let me ask a really loaded question because we're way out of time. Handful of the same weapons we're used to, handful of the same enemies we're used to. The graphics are still a little, is it really 5 out of 5?
Yes, it is.
Okay, 5 out of 5 it is. All right. Oh, real quick, actually, you talked to Reggie Fils-Aimé, which is a big deal from Nintendo.
Yes.
Talked to him earlier this morning. What's the news? What do we have?
They dropped the Wii's price by $50 from cheap to cheaper.
Very cool.
And a new Super Mario Bros. Wii is coming out in November, and because it's Nintendo, this is a cause for such celebration. I got up at 6:30 this morning to chat with the Reddit.
That's awesome. Are you excited for a new Super Mario Bros.? Like, is that something you play co-op with your buddies?
Yes and no. I really would like to see a more full-fledged Mario game that really is using the motion controls. I don't have 3 friends. That's another problem.
Well, you found one here, my friend. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. Adam Sessler, always in my heart. Go to g4tv.com/Reggie for that whole interview there. Thank you again, Adam, for coming on.
My pleasure.